Scottish spring water, the juice of a lemon, the juice of a lime, several slivers of root ginger, and some raw organic honey to take the bitterness off the lemon and the lime. Perfect for rehydration purposes, obviously water is, but with the lemon and the lime that just cuts right through the thirst, and of course the antibacterial properties, oh shut up. This is the BrewDog Jackhammer, 7.2% India Pale Ale, and it really does live up to its name because of that. But what I do like is the little bit of text on the side here. It says, Jackhammer, press the button, go ahead, what are you waiting for? Your mama's not coming this time. Don't slow down. Hammer it. No idea what that means, but oh, it does have that kick to it. They do another one called the Mr. President, which is 9.8% or something. It was actually too strong. I had to wash it down with regular lager. Anyway, the reason we are here today is to do another sprue tour. And in this case it is the Great Wall Hobby T-33A Shooting Star. That's the T-33 is the one with the twin seater in 1/48 scale. I do believe this is in the shops around about nowish. This is kind of like Great Wall Hobby's equivalent of an Edward weekend set. It doesn't have any photo etch. Quite a simple kit, not a huge part count, but the parts are rather tasty, as we'll soon see. Beautiful boxes, again the artwork is just gorgeous. Great Wall Hobby really do put a lot of effort into that, and that really does just helps, and it's lovely glossy finish, so it looks nice. There's 3 versions that come with this, or 3 variants available. You can do the United States all bare metal. There's a Luftwaffe version, which is silver with a little bit of orange, and then there's the Italian version, which is a lot of orange with a little bit of silver. I think I'll do that one. But yes, without further ado, let's have a look at this little puppy, and you'll soon see what I'm giving on about. Right, so, well, first thing that seems to come out is the decal sheet. I've taken the liberty of getting rid of all the plastic bags, so you don't have to listen to them crinkling and whatnot. But the decal sheet, again, when you've got a bare metal finish, the last thing you want is a lot of excess carrier film, and these are, you know, cut pretty close to the decal. Other than the lettering, where obviously you're going to get carrier film in between them, there's virtually no excess of carrier film. I mean, these stencil markings here, which in some manufacturers that could have been a whole block of carrier film, that's it, that's your decal, just those little C shapes or U shapes or whatever. And they're a nice matte finish. It's not a polished metal finish, it's a bare metal finish, and obviously through wear and tear any metal finish is going to have that slight patina that builds up on the surface of millions of little scratches. So I'm going to kind of go for a kind of a light sheen, almost between light sheen and matte, somewhere in between there. So I don't really mind what the decals are in terms of their surface finish, because they're going to get coated here. But if that wasn't to be the case, then having that kind of matte finish does make them much more easier to weather, especially like me, you use the pigments and whatnot. So lovely decal sheet, lots of things, not too many stencils. Oh, thank goodness. The instruction sheet is kind of odd in that it's a 2-part thing, and this part, this double A4 part, has basically your mappy or sprues, as it were. But the actual instruction sheet itself, obviously it starts at 1, 2, and then turning the page it's 3, and then 4, and then turning the page is 5, and then turning the page it's 5 again, as opposed to 6. There's 2 5s. First lower hull assembly, lower hull assembly. Right, so you've got 2 5s, 6, a 7, an 8 and a 9. So it's basically the whole thing is actually 2 sides that fold out like this. So you start there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you work along this way. Lots of white spaces, so it shouldn't take you too long to get this thing into a fairly aircraft looking kind of shape. And as is the norm these days, there's a separate pull out, which is the colour callouts. Now, one thing to note actually is that the colour callouts on this are for MIG ammo. On the instruction sheet you do have both MIG and Mr. Hobby, but on this colour callout it's MIG and MIG only. Now that's a good coup for MIG, but I would imagine at this stage not an awful lot of people have their entire paint collections made up of MIG ammo paints. And of course you can get your little paint converter things on your app, you know, the app. There's iModel Kit for iPhones, and there is one for Android, and even then I don't think they've been updated that well that they have MIG paints on them. But as I say, the instruction does have secondary callouts for Mr. Hobby, although it's the Creos stuff, the C numbered ones, but again that's then easy to convert to your aqueous if that be the case. But yeah, that's the Italian one. I think I'll go for that one. Lots of orange with a little bit of bare metal, so that would be quite nice. I don't have any Italian aircraft in my collection at the moment. So anyway, let's get down to the nitty gritty. The plastic, and the first one that comes out is Sprue A, which is the fuselage halves, the cockpit tub and the wheel wells. Absolutely beautiful mouldings. Again, I've said it before, kind of negates the need for anything like resin. You've got moulded in pipework and literally no need for anything over and above that which comes in the box. As for the surface detail, again, very finely moulded recessed panel lines with rivet detail. There's always generally rivet detail that they don't include, but to be honest with you, if they were to go the whole hog and supply the thing fully riveted like it might be in real life, it could be too much in such a small scale. It looks like Great Wall Hobby. I've struck a very nice balance here, in that there's just enough to give the impression, but without overdoing it. We've got the undercarriage covers, which are moulded ready for you to have them closed, and I think it's just a simple case that we have to split them apart to show our wheels lowered. So cannot complain with that. And then we come to the other of the two large sprues, because from here on it's all small sprues. The wings, top surface and bottom surface, the instrument panels. Now, I've actually obtained an Airwaves photo etch set for a T-33, mainly to get the seat harnesses. Now this was like £4 on eBay, so it wasn't exactly a huge outlay, and I don't mind spending that for things like seat harnesses. But it does actually come with photo etch instrument panels, as well as a few other little bits and bobs that I might be able to use. But the bezels on the injection moulded are quite heavy, and they're a little bit more subtle on the photo etch. So what else have we got here? This looks like the undercarriage, which is one. This is Sprue D. Yeah, this is the undercarriage, and various other small parts. Like I say, we're going to shoot through these quite quickly because there isn't really an awful lot of them. The wheels. There's not much really to say about that. Wheel struts. Wheels are weighted, are in two halves, and again, looking at the quality of the hubs, the spoked hubs, I doubt resin would give you that much of an advantage over these. So again, another win for injection moulding. The seats, again, they would benefit, maybe, I don't think they are on the photo etch fret, would always benefit from being replaced in that regard, but I mean, these are okay. I have no qualms about using these. This is the ejection seats, and again the side panels. There will be, I dare say, resin Pavla or Ares or Quick Boost might do resin seats for these, but again, I know this almost sounds a bit nerdy. Having two seats with two separate sets of seat harnesses allows for non-identical harness placement, which often you don't get when you get a fully moulded resin seat. And yeah, so there's two sprues for that, and the fuel tanks. No ordnance on this one, I don't think, is there? I don't think we've got any ordnance with this one. I don't think there's any missiles, which is fine, because I hate ordnance. And the MiG is just missiles and tanks and stuff. And the A-10, I have a whole box of ordnance for it. Yeah. Clear parts, nicely done, Great Wall. There's a little plastic to protect the main canopy, and clarity wise, optical clarity, let's take that off again. A little bit, it's an awful piece of clear, so it's going to have lensing. There's no way around that. But whatever lies beneath, I suppose I'll have the right way around, is perfectly legible. So even having this closed, we're going to see everything that we need to see in the cockpit. And obviously these days I like to have my canopies closed, especially on something like this, which does have some nice subtle smooth lines. So nose cone and the ladder. My ladder's actually broken, but I probably wouldn't have been showing it with that. And what's that? That's the backs of the ejector seats, which you wouldn't see anyway, but they're there, so fantastic. So there you go, that was very quick and rapid for a change. What's the, oh, we're only at 12 minutes, my god. What am I going to do for the other 15 minutes that I normally prattle on for? What have I else to say? Well, look, stay tuned, because I haven't done a video for a wee while, and I do have a few that are in the pipeline. There's going to be the reveal video for the Hien, the Tony, the Key 61. There's a reveal video for the Focke-Wulf 190, the 132nd scale. I've finished that tank thing and picked this up at a show just recently. It's the Bandai Star Destroyer, so I'll do a kind of a roundup video shortly, just to keep you up to date with things, the MiGs and missiles and just everywhere. The MiG's actually coming along, the Great Wall MiG. Just broke one of the burner cans off, but it's getting there. I hope to have that finished within a week or so. So there we go, on this fairly attractive Saturday. I don't know if you can see, but there's a dead dog. Yep, there it is. Yep, yep. Yep. Best way to spend Sunday, isn't it? On your back. Anyway, cheers my dears, and we'll speak soon. Toodaloo.